Good morning. Welcome to the Request Portal training. Today I'm going to show you how to create a BARC request. To get to this page, go to your web browser, enter sdmesa.edu/request. Once you do that, you'll land on this page. Our recommendation is that you use Chrome, Firefox, or Safari to enter a BARC request. Internet Explorer is not a recommended tool. If you have issues or technical difficulty with the system, please contact Joel Arias in the Office of Communications. For those of you who do not already have an account, you'll need to create one. Simply come down to the section titled Register, enter your name, you can enter your extension or your phone number, the division that you work in, down below you'll be creating your login and password. Your login will be your email address. We recommend that you use your SDCCD email address, and then your password would be any type of password that you would like to create. Once you do that, click Submit. You will be logged into the system. Because I already have an account, I'm going to come over here and log in. All returning users, your account carries over, so you don't need to create a new one. You can simply log in with the account you created last year. If you can't remember your password, click on Reset Password and you'll be sent a link to do so. Okay, once you log in, you'll log into the welcome page. You'll have the opportunity then to enter a BARC chip or FIP request. Today we're just going to cover a BARC request. Very top right hand of the window, if you click on the row with 3 bars, you can see the account that was created, your name, email address, and the division that you work under. And then you have the opportunity to update your account settings if you need to make any changes. If you would like to take our survey, which we hope you do, you can click on feedback and do so. And then if you notice a bug or an issue within the system that you'd like to report, we ask that you do that here. And of course, you can log out from the system clicking on log out. So we're going to get started with entering a new BARC request. Click on BARC. Once you do that, you'll come to the entry page where you'll have the opportunity to enter a one-time request, a facility request, or a request for a budget augmentation. The instructions for each one of those are listed up at the top. The thing that is really, really important that we always want to point out is that incomplete forms will not be scored. We ask that you please make sure that you fill out all of the important required information so that when the committee comes in to review your submission, it can be scored because it's complete. You do have the opportunity to come in and enter information and kind of do a save as, but again, you must come back and complete the entire application so that it can be scored by the committee. If you have questions about the BARC process, please contact Carla in the Office of the VPA. Her extension is 2373. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Today I'm going to enter a test request. I'm going to select the Avanza Center. I'm going to do a one-time request. Once you click on that radio button, the fields will automatically be displayed for you. Okay. I'm going to go back up to the top. Some things that I like to point out right away is that you will notice there are some little help options in the majority of the boxes to give you an idea of what you should be inputting in the field. There are also some boxes that look like this. They have a yellow flag, little yellow bar. That lets you know, when you see those, lets you know that this is a scoreable section, okay? Anything that has the yellow flag, right below it is a scoreable section, and so it's critical that you make sure you are responding to the prompt. It gives you some information in the box that lets you know what the committee is going to use to score the section, that these are scoreable sections, okay? So at the very top, we ask that you put in the item name. So as you see here in the example, Surface Pro Laptop 2. And then right away it tells you the following question is scored based on the following criteria. Okay? Request includes a detailed description, including technical details and specifications if applicable. And so we ask in this field that you enter as much information about the item that you're requesting as possible. So in this example, we have the Surface Pro Laptop 2. Tell us about it. You can use the quote or the online item description to help you fill out this field. We do allow you to do a copy and paste. You have the opportunity to bold, format your content any way you choose, whether you're using bullets, indentions, and such. Please give us as much information as possible about the product you are requesting be purchased. Please describe the item or request, include all relevant technical details and specifications as applicable. You have up to 2,000 characters to describe that item. Okay, and this gives you a good example of how to start out. The next section down, scoreable section. Request includes a detailed description of how the item will be used and its impact on the following 5 areas. Please address the following 5 areas in your request. So the Surface Book Pro will be used to help you achieve what? Be as specific as possible. Again, text boxes are formatable and up to 2,000 characters. Okay, the next question down asks you simply, you don't have this item now, so how are you meeting the need? Describe that in as much detail as you would like. There's another section down that where we're just trying to get as much information as possible as we are purchasing or helping to score the items. So there are times when you may be buying, as an example, you might be buying 20 laptops. And you're also requesting a laptop charging station. Well, you might be awarded the laptop charging station, but not the laptops. Those things are dependent on one another, and we need to know that. So we'd like you to tell us, yes, I've put in a request for a laptop charging station, and I've also put in a request for the laptop. If I don't get the laptop charging station might not really be applicable to the program. And so we want to know if items go together or are dependent on one another. If they are, say yes. And then we'd like you to include the request ID for the item that complements this particular request. To find that request ID, click on Request ID. If you click on BARC to view or edit your request, you'll see the request ID for the previous entry. Okay? All right. And so if you have multiple request IDs that all go together or are dependent on one another, you can list them all here. The next section down tells us a bit about how much the item costs that you're looking to purchase. So let's say we're buying 6 laptop pros or Surface Book Pros at $500 each. So the cost per item is $500. We're purchasing 6. As you notice, the form is doing a bit of the math for you. This section should be relatively easy to complete as you're looking at your quote. You should be able to transpose what's on the quote onto the system. So if there's a line for freight, please enter that. Enter the amount of tax that's listed on the quote. Any other expenses, if applicable, and then if there are any installation costs. As you see, the system will do the math and give you a total that should match the bottom line of your quote. As you are entering your quotes or entering your requests, we'd like you to make sure that your vendor is approved. You can contact Business Services at 2771 to see if you are working with an approved vendor. If you are not, Business Services will help you get that vendor approved and on our list to be used. Okay? Once you've gathered your quote, we'd like you to load them into the system. You can click on Choose File. You'll have the opportunity to upload your quote to the system. As you see, it's very easy, loaded right away. into the system, and you have the opportunity to load up to 3 quotes. The next section down is not scored, but it is good information for us to know as we are purchasing the items once they've been approved. So we'd like to know where the item is going to reside. So we'll say it's going to be in the D building in B101. Does the item require installation? If it does, please say yes. We ask that you get installation included on your quote. If you do not, but the item requires installation, please tell us about the installation plan here. Very, very important. Again, the location is important for us because if you're buying a welder, as an example, we know that that requires a different level of electricity than, say, a computer. And so we'll want to see where you're planning to put that welder and if that electricity already exists. And if it doesn't, we'll help you get a quotation to add the proper electricity to that space. So very, very important that you indicate where the item is going to reside and if it requires installation. Next section down is a scoreable section. So the question is, describe how the request will be assessed or evaluated. Again, the evaluation model request includes a detailed plan for evaluation, which fully addresses data to be used, includes a timeline and the responsible party. And then we have the additional information here. Is it a health and or safety issue? Please describe that. And is this request related to accreditation or licensure for the program? And then please describe. Next section down, is this request for a CTE program? If it is, click yes, and you're all done. Once you complete your BARC request, you click on Save. I'm going to go back to the top here. You can see what it looks like. So once a BARC request has been entered, you'll see that that BARC request is now on your dashboard. Couldn't come up with the word, I apologize. Now your BARC request is on your dashboard. You can enter as many BARC requests as you need to. If you need to go back and update a BARC request, my blue shoes request, I want to update that. Click on Edit. Takes me back to what I entered. And now I have the opportunity to say I want 15 pairs of blue shoes. System will update my request. Scroll all the way to the bottom and hit Update. Click on Update. Now my BARC submission has been updated. I can right away enter a new BARC request or return home. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that this information has been helpful.